Wheel of Time, Season 2, Episode 7. You know, I didn't even catch the name. I did not expect this. I did not expect a rose to be presented to me. And then a big old snake crawl on my shoulder, eat the rose head off, and then shake its head and whack me in the face with the thorns. I didn't expect that. Oh, should I have? Okay, all you book readers out there that knew this was coming, I feel a little bit of vengeance toward you. I know everything can't be honky-dory. And I should have known the way she was standing on that tower something was going down. But I thought it was a coup. And I guess it kind of is, but I thought it was a different kind of coup. I did not know this was going to be WandaVision Part 2. Where the person I came to see, well, no offense, but the person I was very excited to see was going to be the bad guy. I'm shook, and this video is going to be extremely long. And I don't even know if I'll even cut it. I am distraught. When I tell you I thought Perrin was a dark friend for a second when she rolled up in there. Okay, let me just tell you like a scope of the episode, and then it's just going to be a basic summary of the episode. Rand is still in, it's Kyrian. And a kind person in the comments told me it's Telandriel, right? No, did I mess it up again? Dang, okay, hold up. I'll figure it out at some point. I'm sorry. I did read your comments. I appreciate them, guys. I'll get more into that at the end. Okay, a summary is basically the White Tower rule is to take the dragon, shield him, and keep him in a prison until it's time to use him for the last battle. Rand said, "Oh crap, that's why you want to meet with me." That's the little meeting that we saw in the preview. I thought she was going to be a nice person, but no. But okay. We're not going to start. Okay. Basically, the rest of the episode was spent trying to get him out and get others to Falm. So, Matt is already in Falm via Lanfear and the Ways. Okay. Rand at the end goes through a way gate led by Lanfear, followed with company. And they're going to Falm. Egwene is in Falm. Loial and Elayne and Nynaeve meet up for a brief second, but of course, they're in Falm too. Everybody's in Falm. And guess what? The prophecy says that he will declare himself in Falm. So cool. Liandrin. Okay, we're going to get into each character. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know. I'm going to spitball, and I'm sorry. But basically, that's the whole summary of the whole episode. Getting Rand out of there because they were going to imprison Homeboy. And he's Homeboy now because he's earned it. He has definitely earned it. Yes. Okay, big fan of Rand now. Hey, Rand puns. I don't really have it right now, but I may have it later on because I'm stressed. Okay, so that's the basic summary of it, and we can hop into the side characters real quick, even though I said we're not going to do it, but here we go. Perrin in this episode. Okay, Perrin is with Avienda, and they're headed out, they're walking and stuff, and then they come across this lady, she hiding in the sand and whatnot. And Perrin said, "There's a lady hiding in the sand, okay?" And the wolf came with them. I was like, how you gonna feed this wolf? But anyway. And then they see the lady, she pops out, they do some sign language, which is pretty cool. And then she's like, "Okay, take me to Julian." Or Juliana? I don't know. They walk over, and it's another lady that looked like the other lady. But they don't look like Avienda necessarily, you know what I'm saying? But they all got the hair and the sand clothes. Dune out here. So they walk over there to a pile of rocks. Homie dead. So I was like, okay, is this some kind of funeral ritual? Because they went like they were going to start doing some funeral dance. She told Perrin, don't hop in. And he was like, all right. And then they said, psh, psh, psh. They did exactly what they did to Avienda is what this episode did to me. They said, I'm sorry, I don't mean it like that, but she was fulfilling something, her toe, which I guess is another life debt or something, some kind of bond that she had to the person that died while they were fighting. She was defending herself against something, and then the person who died got stabbed out. So they punched her out, kicked her out. She ran up and did a flying midway punch, Superman tackle, all that. Like, I was like, they're putting a lot into this. I thought it was some kind of, I don't know, gang initiation, but she's already in the Aiel, so maybe just how they celebrate. I was like, what? What's going on? He didn't jump in. The dog kept barking. The wolf kept barking. Sorry. And growling and stuff. I thought he might jump in, but he's just one wolf, so he's not going to do much. By the end of it, she got up and they started walking, and they're all cool now. And she was like, oh, are you bound to some lady? Are you, do you belong to another wetlander? And he's like, something like that. And then they roll up on the water, and it's like, what water? We've been walking through Dune. Why is there water here? And no, it's funny. It's just water. And then you look over, and then Perrin's like, phone. And I was like, yes, but also no. Oh no, all the characters are gonna be there. Okay, Matt gets there, and because Lanfear knocked him out, woke him up, giving him to Ishamael. Ishamael is shaving a nutmeg into a little metal bowl, and Matt's like, bro, is this a, you know what I'm saying, kind of freaky thing, no offense? And he's like, nah, but he waits a long time to say that. He's such a weird dude, Ishamael. He's such a weird dude. I thought he was gonna say yes for a second. He like entertained the idea. And I was like, don't ask him nothing no more like that, because he is tempted to say yes. But later on, he's like, okay, after 15 minutes, you drink this tea, and I have trouble sleeping, blah, 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 And Matt's like, who cares about your trouble sleeping? And he's like, when I drank this tea, it'll show you, like, it gave me the most sleep I've had in forever. All my lifetimes in here. And then I was like, well, that's good enough for me. I would have took a drink too. I said, what I was, huh? I thought we were going to see like a whole bunch of different Matts, but which would have been interesting because of the specific situation surrounding his character and the actor changes and stuff. But, I mean, they wouldn't have worked that out. But anyway, that would have been a big reveal if they worked that out. But he was just in the room the whole time, and in one of his lifetimes, trigger warning, I'm going to mention harm and self-harm because this episode is full of a lot of self-harm mentions and visualizations and stuff, so just be warned. Okay. He hung himself in one of them. In another one, he was drowning out somebody, so he unalived himself with a rope. He murdered somebody, and he was talking to his mom, but then his mom was calling him a prick again, over and over again, just like we saw in season 1. Saying, you're gonna be just like him, a prick just like him, just like your dad. And then he started to merge into his mom. So I was like, were you your mom? What is this? Oedipus or something? I'm sorry, not Oedipus, but like, it gave me a little bit of weird vibes, just a bit. And then he was holding his mom, and he turned into his mom, and then he was holding his mom. This is a fever dream, like, just letting you know. And then I kept thinking, like, he's the father of lies, so who knows if this is for real. But basically, he's holding his mom in his arms, and his mom's calling him a prick, and then it's him holding him, and then they both scream at each other, and then when he wakes up, Ishamael is holding him the way he was holding his mom, the way he thought he was holding his mom, and he's crying, he's all shook up, jacked up. Don't drink nothing else he gives you, don't drink nothing else. I don't care what story. He said, this could show you the edge of the universe. I said, I bet it will. Dump that out, bro. Dump that out. But Ishamael is like, you see, this is what I was saying. All I want to do is close my eyes and never open them again. I'm like, man, 3,000 years you didn't get a therapist? Like, homie is not okay. You don't need to be the one talking to him. Man, obviously, if you just want to be out of here. But I don't know. I guess I can understand, like, not wanting to continue when you think that your life is just going to wake up and you're just going to be the same again and again, always bad, always trying to be better, but never able to be better. You just want it to be done with. You want your last time to be the last time. I guess I can get how exhausting that could be. I kind of peeped that in season 1. I was like, y'all gonna do this every time the prophecy come around, like, just is over with? Like, every time you're gonna have a last battle, every time the dragon's gonna be reborn again? Yeah, stop the wheel. But not at these costs, because guess what? We're gonna check in. Sorry, Matt, bye. We're going to check in with Liandrin. So they rolled up in the house, and I'm going to talk about the cold open too. I'm just waiting for last minute now because I've completely switched up. And I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't know what reaction I'm going to give you, to be honest, so I'm waiting. I'm procrastinating. Liandrin went into Moiraine's house. Or, well, according to her house, yeah, anytime. The Damodred house. And y'all were side-eyeing Aanvere. And I thought about side-eyeing her, but I was like, nah, I think she's cool. I did not at all. I did not at all look at the nephew. I did not at all look at the nephew. I was like, oh, poor guy. Y'all didn't say nothing. Don't say nothing good. Thank you. That would have been a big spoiler. But anytime somebody mentioned anything about like predictions or anything like that, who could be a dark friend and all that, I would just click out of the video just in peak timing. I'd be Usain Bolt out there. I'm out of here, bro. I did not want any spoilers. So when I saw that he was acting shifty and Liandrin was like, and I'm tired of waiting. I was like, okay, waiting for what? And then he's like, Mother, will you excuse me? I said, no. No. The way my chest locked up. And no, this was not the first lock. This is a padlock compared to the locks that came in this episode. And I will get to it. But this one, ooh, I trusted this man and his two hairstyle having self. His multiple perms. I put my trust in each loop of his pressed down curls, and I thought he was a good dude. Which, if you really think about it, which this show is doing very well. Everybody who you dislike, even Lanfear, when she was walking through the city, I'll get to that too, but I was like, ooh, she cool. She out here. Blow it up then. Blow it up. I like that outfit too. But anyway, every character that you think like, oh, they suck. You can't really hate anybody, because you're like, they all have reasons. Like, he didn't even know his aunt like that, so it would make sense for him not to worry about betraying her. But basically, Liandrin said, off Moiraine. And, Liandrin, I'm gonna get off you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get off you, because I might have been wrong. You may not be a good person. Because, like, she could care less. She's still working for the Dark, and they killed your son. She just is whatever. At this point, I have no expectations for her. Bye. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going to happen to her in the future, but I'm not going to hope no more. No more hope for her. I'm done with it. She's just like, okay, kill Moiraine. She's in the way. And if your mama has something to say about it, if she gets in the way, get her too. And then she walks out. And I'm like, are you going to do it, dude? Dude, are you going to do it, though? That's your aunt. And, well, I'm a stan. I'm a stan. Very hard day for me, because I'm a stan. But I'm a stan of Moiraine. Ooh, and so complicated. Okay, so I was like, definitely not on his side, but I was also like, bro, are you gonna stab out your aunt for a throne? I'm like, did I close my eyes and accidentally start watching House of the Dragon? Because, name this one House of the Dragon. This is Wheel of Time, Episode 7, House of the Dragon. Because homie is not homie. He is demoted. He is dark friend. Dark friend douchebag. That's what his name is. He rolled up to do it. The audacity. He rolled up to do it. He showed up to the thing, and then the little guard, he was like, yeah, I gave her a little bit of extra tea. I gave her that, you know what I'm saying, Ambien, and I slipped it in there. She should be asleep by now. And he's like, all right, yep. He's like, do you want me to open the door, sir? And he's like, yes. And so he opened the door. He walked in with his sword ready to stab her out in her sleep. And then when he walked in, he didn't see nobody. He saw his mom, and his mom said, I didn't think you would do it. Because guess what? She went downstairs when he banished her away from when Liandrin wanted to talk to him. She went downstairs into this little cave area and listened through the vents. And she heard the whole thing. Yo, son is grimy. You raised a dude who wanted so bad to make you proud by getting the family name back that he was willing to do anything, including stab out his aunt and possibly you if you got in the way. He said, I did this for us, for the family name. I am meant to be king for us, for you, Mom. And I was like, ooh, that's a moment when you know you failed as a mom. When your kid is ready to stab out your own family for a title. Boy, you're not even royal. Like, how do you even know she would let you run things at all just because you're a king? This is women land. Anyway, women land. No, it's fine. She might have. I don't even know what queen they're talking about, because the only queen I know is the daughter heir of Andor. And she is very nice, I will say. She is a nice lady, and you do not deserve her old dark friend perm head. But yeah, she slammed the door on him. He's screaming and yelling. All the guards are about to guard him. I thought they were gonna stab him out through the through the little gate in the door. And she's like, if there's one thing my sister knows, and I know she will leave us. He's like, she will leave us without even a second thought. And I was like, As a stan, I have to stay quiet, because she will. She is leaving. This episode is also brought to you by Moiraine is leaving you. No matter how long you've known each other, she is leaving you. So she's like, if there's one thing, two things my sister knows is right from wrong and how hard it is to do the right thing. And I said, Aanvere, I don't know what's going to happen to her in the future, but dang, I feel bad for her. She idolized her sister. Her sister dipped. She had to carry the family. Then she had a son. Then she's going to raise him. She's so proud of him. Now, put everything back together. Her sister comes back and she's like, so you back from outer space, and getting no respect. And then her son banishes her, and she finds out her son has sworn to the worst of the worst. So she has failed as a mother. She is rejected as a sister. She was overlooked as a daughter, and she's old. What left does she have to show for anything at this point except for a treacherous son? And she told the queen already. She said, I already told everybody. He said, no, yes, yes. Yes, indeed. It's a yes kind of day. It's a yes kind of day. Any bad question you have about, I have fears about this episode. I'm so scared about this episode. Yes. Yes is the answer. Okay, how else can we procrastinate? Egwene! A bright part of the episode. Thank you. I was mad when I saw her. They put that avocado in her mouth. Shout out to Everyday Negroes, the channel that said that first. Really enjoy their reactions. I wonder what they're going to say about this one. But they said the avocado thing first. I thought it was funny, so, credit to them. But also, they put it in her mouth, and then they were, out there training their demone in some open field. They were and she's like, you'll be better than them, Egwene. Because they're putting gusts of wind toward the other group, and they're like, oh, yeah, you're strong, whatever. It almost reached us. That's what's up. And then she's like, you're so strong, Egwene. You're going to send the wind to the town. Everybody will know that you are mine. She has that kind of superiority vibe, and she's so weird with it too, because she came into after Egwene said and just knocked over all the other demone, literally knocked over all the something with the S that controls the demone, the S people, knocked them over. And then the gust went into the town. It went into Falm, and Ogier felt it. He was like, And that's when he met up with with Elayne and Nynaeve, who are about to go undercover chicks. Let's go. We'll go to them right after. But Egwene sends that gust of wind. It's super powerful. Her soul. Oh, it's coming to me. Her soul something. The Sultan. I don't know. She's happy and she's proud of her. So she shows up to her cell with a bucket of water and a sponge, and she's like, "Give me your hand." And Egwene is in the middle of doing her braid up, looking mad, and she don't have the avocado in anymore. And she's like, "Give me your hand." And she gives her a hand, and then she cleans off. She put water on her hand, I guess cleaning it off. Was nah, my hand is wet. And then so she gives her other hand, and she's like, "We never told you why we were here. That's why you're fighting me. We're here to unite the world in the last battle. It's coming, but we'll be together. You and I, Egwene." And I'm like, why don't y'all just work together? What? This is exactly why sometimes I be thinking, until I remember how grimy the dark side is. I'm like, they're right. They're onto something. This wheel is trash. Y'all are trash. Because y'all don't want to work together. Y'all just want to keep this cycle of suffering going. I understand the mission, but I don't agree with the actions and what you're doing in order to accomplish the mission. I don't agree with your process at all. But, and the Shan Chen either. Because, if y'all just work together, maybe you can all unite against the last battle. Because that's what the Aes Sedai want, too. Y'all are so similar, but y'all are so opposite because y'all decided to just be the bad version of the Aes Sedai. And the Aes Sedai are already a little bad. So how bad is the bad version of the bad? Egwene said, "Renna." And then Renna's like, "Yes." Because he all in a good mood. And then Egwene said, "I'm going to kill you." And I said, yes! Because this whole time she's just been quiet. She couldn't say nothing. She's just on a leash, basically. Just getting used. And then now she's getting washed up like a mangy pup. And that's no offense to her at all. And then Renna decided she want to have a nice little talk with her and make her feel special and stuff like that. And she sees right through that. She said, as nice as this water on my hand is, your blood would be better. And it will be better. Because I'm going to get you. Renna gets mad. She storm out of there. She bring her little bucket and her little soap and water, and she slammed the door. And I'm like, and Egwene just and she goes back to braiding her braid. And I'm like, yes, a sign of life. Because I thought I was like, did they break her all the way? Or is she just, staying strong inside? She is staying strong. We saw for a second the sitter of the Blue Aja, or ex-sitter, I should say, it was sad to see her like that, but she was standing behind the chick with the avocado in her mouth, just completely domesticated, as it seems. She may not actually be, but yeah. On the way is the homies. Nynaeve and Elayne are about to come through and help. They have that little armband that the other Aes Sedai sacrificed her freedom for. We didn't see her at all, so I don't know if she survived, but she was out there, and then they put the armband on Nynaeve after meeting up with Ogier, finding out exactly where Egwene is, and she promised us to free Ogier too. And there was a nice little moment with Ogier and Elayne. But yeah, so they put on the armband, and I thought Elayne was gonna pretend to be the Demane, but no, they were stalking one. Not a Demane, but the people. I'm sorry, I just forgot the name. I will remember it as soon as I'm done, probably. But she walked up, and she was like, "It looks good on me, right?" And she's like, "What you talking about?" And they like knock her out. And then I think that's when they go to Egwene braiding her braids. So I was like, okay, I thought they were gonna like braid their hair just like that, but she's gonna pretend to be one of them to infiltrate and get in there and get her and get out, you know? I don't know how well that's gonna work, because it's all going down next episode. Oh, it's all going down, and I don't know how else I can stall this, but my nerves are coming back. I don't know how else I can stall this. What else can I talk about? What else? Alana was in this episode. She was talking. It seems none of the Aes Sedai trust each other, which they were told there's a Forsaken in there, so I don't know if they were just untrusting already, but all them 14 Aes Sedai, they said, I don't trust her. I don't trust her. The bald chick that walked by, I was like, I don't trust her, because she looked over at Perrin, and I was like, well, I trust Perrin. Should I? I don't know. I think I do. I do, because she was nice. And she cut eyes at Perrin, and I was like, her. And then the warder that was talking to Alana, the blonde guy, he was like, I'm worried about Liandrin. Like, where did she go? And that's when we see that she's giving orders to Moiraine's old treacherous nephew. She said, get her off the board. And I was like, does that mean like the Damodred board? But then I didn't know that meant kill her until she was like, and then take care of your mom too if she gets in the way. Oh, please. Didn't you have a son, Liandrin? Don't you know that your son would probably never kill you? But what do you care now? You're just trying to destroy the will. So whatever. Okay, I'm done pleading to Liandrin's heart. She is choosing to lock it away. So lock it away. I don't know you like that. Lock it away. There's gotta be something else I could talk about. I think I'm out. No, Lan. I could talk about Lan, but it's gonna lead right into it. Okay, here we go. Lan is... It's actually good. It's just there's so much sad that happened in this episode that I can't even like be happy about the good. So it's like, okay, Lan, good, yay. He goes to guess what he goes to? He goes to False Dragon Man, who is still locked up, jacked up, and he's like, in 1,000 years, there's been all these different weaves, and that's what he was talking about last episode when they thought he was a Forsaken. I was like, here you go again with this. Here you go again. And he's like, I would offer for you to play a game as well, but it's a gentleman's game, I'm afraid. And I'm like, you are the sassiest, gentle man in this world. He just wants out of here. And Lan offers him a key so he can get out, but falsely. And then he's like, what did you see on Moiraine? And he's like, I saw a desperate woman clinging to something after having taken on a mission way over her head. Something like that. And then Lan is about to dip, and he's like, I saw weaves. Tiny little weaves. I was so stressed in this episode, dude, I couldn't even, like, celebrate correctly, but I was like, yes! Weaves! Yes! We suspected, we hoped, we've received. There are weaves knotted up in her chest. She is not without the power. It is just all jacked up. It's like they took a shoelace and they said, this shoelace is going to be double knotted. That's what he did with his little finger like this. I wonder why, you know what I'm saying? But whatever. And he said, there are weaves close to her. Are you about to leave that key, though? And then Lan was like, have you think I've forgotten to what you did to my green sister and my homie? Nah, man, I ain't leaving the next time you up out of here, G. Is when they move you back to the White Tower, basically. So he leaves, and I'm like, when they left and they kind of panned to him, the false dragon one more time, I'm like, is this dude gonna be a problem? Logain. His name is Logain. Yes. Okay. They keep treating Logain any kind of way, keep tempting him with the final frontier and whatnot, and he keeps like giving up information, but they keep not coming through with their side of the deal. So I'm like, is this gonna be a problem later? Somebody put this man out of his misery. Because he gonna come back and he gonna, But maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. But they are throwing this man around. Anyway, goodbye. So, Lan is even in there because he's like, well, here's Rand. He came to the ambulance seat because he's like, well, I think I'm about to tell you everything. And he's telling Lan, she's a good person. She comes from more humble beginnings than you realize. When you face her, as a man, there's only one rule. Face your problems on your feet. I was like, how lovely. How nice. He didn't stay on his feet for long, but how nice. But I like Rand now. Okay, I like Rand now. Sorry to Rand. All right. So Lan finds out that Moiraine, actually confirming his suspicions, can still channel. She's just all jacked up, clogged up chick and doesn't know it. Moiraine coming out there with the attitude because can we wait one more second? Okay. Rand tells Lanfear, help free me and I'll help you. And Lanfear said, he's like, can you do it or not? How about that? And then she's like, yeah, I can do it. So she rolls through Cairhien, blowing stuff up, making a whole bunch of fuss and stuff like that. And then they kind of team together behind my sis's back to free Rand from prison. And they trick Leanne. I only know Leanne from fanfiction. She does seem to be a little rough around the edges, but really cool and a great sense of fashion. But they end up sneaking him out, and then ultimately they get to a way gate, and Lanfear shows up, and he hops in front of Moiraine because she's like, next time, I told you, next time I see y'all together, I'm getting sis. Sis is dead. He said, sis is not dead, actually. Sis is empowered. Oh, no, I'm stressed. I can't celebrate. Okay, I'll tell you. This is going to be hard, but I'll tell you. So basically, Rand gets through the way gate, and I told you that in the beginning. I'm stalling. And he does another really great thing, but I'll combine that with Moiraine. So, Moiraine. We start out the episode in a cold open of my dreams. I'm not going to lie to you, I shipped this so hard. Which is why this episode was so hard. I am sad chick. Oh. Everyone has a choice. And my choice was to get very emotionally involved in this show. I mean, I'm talking like fandom involved. I'm talking videos throughout the week. Fan art. Theories. Stories. Anything that's not a spoiler. All week, every week, since it's come back out. So, I mean, I may not be on your level. So, yeah, if I'm not on your level, how are you feeling? Go ahead and tell me in the comments. Are you wrecked? Because some people said episode 6 wrecked them. I may have been one of those people. Episode 7 is my episode 6. My ship is dead! Oh, okay, anyway, sorry. The cold open. The cold open is my ship just setting sail in the beautiful blue skies. They're walking through the tower. I see more tattoos. Come on and show me, huh? Show me more tattoos. Let me see another hairstyle. Let me see. They're all happy, skipping around and whatnot, together and whatnot, you know. And they're like talking. Moraine's like, yeah, you can meet this person in my family, you can meet this person. You don't have to go, because it looked like she was like a little nervous about meeting her folks. And I was like, oh, she's gonna meet her folks. This is straight out of a story, right? It was just so weird to see. And I was eating at the time. I was like, I'm not even hungry, forget it. I'm looking, I'm listening. I already decided I'm gonna focus. And Siuan's like, it's not that. You know, I can't do the accent, you know what I'm saying? It's not that. It's more like, she's like, what will we do after all this? Like, I don't see us in gowns forever doing this Aes Sedai thing. And then Moraine's like, nah, bro, after this Aes Sedai thing, we're gonna do our regency or whatever, sun throne, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what you're talking about. I was living the dream. And then she's like, and after that, fishwife or something like that. I was like, Siuan's like, I see us in a cabin or whatever by the lake with, you know, nice little tier things, just like river folk things. I'm like, how pleasant. And then Moraine's like, yeah, and then we retire, but you're going to be the fishwife. She said, what you know about casting nets and whatnot, but I don't know fish wise. So they're happy chicks. They skipping around and they're like, okay, we just got to report in about the good news. The Aiel war is over. I don't know what that's about, but we heard about a little bit when Rand was in the mental hospital helping the people. And so the Aiel war is over. Yay! You know what I'm saying? Knock, knock, knock. Hey, we're busting in. The lady who ruined my life. The lady who ruined my life, her eyes turn white. And she has a vision. I said, you couldn't have saved that? No, thank you. This is when they should have said, oh, I'm sorry, I've interrupted your vision. I'm going to head back out and I'll come on back later. Stop in the name of love. Please. No, she kept on going. She said, I see that Rand's dad just had to show up with his guard homies, stabbing out the Aiel lady right in this second. It had to happen right now. And I see it and I have to broadcast it all right now. And then so they hear everything. She's like, I see the dragon burning in flames, yelling like the thunder. And I was like, good, awesome, wonderful poetry. Keep it to yourself. But this is a flashback anyway. So I knew it was going to be what it is. I do. But I still wanted to change it. But anyway, so they're both witnessing this. Siuan's on this side. Moiraine's on this side. The chick said, the dragon is reborn. Sisters, tell no one. You have to find the dragon and get him ready for the last battle. And she just out of there. I said, it's all because of you. You did this. We could have had pleasant fish-living people. Man, no wonder. And you know what? I understand men even more. Because not men mean like M-E-N, but men, the character and her visions and why she wanted them gone so bad. If she just didn't want to interrupt what would have been a wonderful little slice of life story. With cool magic on the side. Give me a spinoff. I deserve it. Skip it if you don't want to hear it. Skip it. You're not a spoke boy. You're the water that turns it yourself. I was like, tell him, sis. Great acting as always. You know, I still stand, but I'm hurt. Okay, so at that moment, they know their lives are changed forever. Now they're on this mission. That's the thing that happened 20 years ago. Lady with her unsolicited visions just changed the course of their entire lives. There we go. Thanks, lady. And then I don't know what happened to her. Good for you. You get to be at peace. I wonder if you had a nice long life. Anyway. So, you can assume. And basically, it goes right to, I'm going to go right to when Moiraine comes into the Sun Throne room. And Siuan's waiting, and she's like, in the Amyrlin seat regalia, right? And then so she's like, leave us. Liane got an attitude. I was like, head out, because I like you, but not that much. Don't start talking crazy. So she heads out. And the Amyrlin is like, why didn't you tell me that you were stilled? I was like, ooh, right to it. This is what I've been waiting for. She gonna find out, and here's the confrontation. Indeed. Apparently they had been talking for 6 months. The whole time. Letters after letters. She never mentioned it. And she's like, what else did Lan tell you? She said that you threatened to have the bond taken by force if he didn't leave. And then Moraine's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I just read like a story about that too. So I was like, I understand the severity. But anyway, so she's like, I've let you carry this burden for 20 years. And then she like goes to touch her face. And then Moraine's pissed. She's just mad. I don't know. But she's rightfully mad. I didn't know she was rightfully mad in that moment. I was like, calm down. I still thought she was a little crazy. I was like, let her touch her face. And then so she did. And she said, I will be taking this burden now. It is time for me to meet Randalthor. And I was like, okay, meet him. You know, at this point, I'm oblivious, happy bird, hopping. I'm still on the high of the cold open. Even though I know it's going down. And then Rand walks in. And she's like, hi. Basically, kind of nice, but then mean. Nice, then mean. And then I'm like, okay, I get it then. All right, cool. He basically is like, well, what do you plan to do after you ask me these questions that you have? And she's like, well, how long have you channeling? He's like, well, off and on, maybe 6 months. And then the plan was for Moiraine to be training him so that Siuan can have the White Tower politics ready and at ample pluckability for Rand to be able to do his dragon stuff in the last battle and there to be no issues. But what's really written down in Tower law is to imprison Rand, like I said earlier, imprison the Dragon Reborn to use him as a weapon, shielding him so that he cannot channel at any other time except for when they throw him out there as a weapon. Not as a human, not as the dragon, not as a general, but as a weapon. And I'm like, bro, don't that sound jacked up to you? And I think at this point she's operating out of fear. And he's like, well, what'll happen? They obviously want me in foam. So what's going to happen with, like, me being here? Or after I declare myself dragon? And she's like, well, as long as I'm on the seat, it's all good. I was like, uh-oh, is this a coup? Are they going to dethrone her and do some crazy stuff with Rand? I didn't have to worry about that. She dethroned herself. Anyway, because he's like, you've made up your mind already. When it changed and the music changed and it panned to him, I was like, she has, hasn't she? She's going to do the wrong thing. She chose to do the wrong thing. And then he starts to channel. You see the little weaves on him. And he's like, I'm not going to let you do that. And then she said, whoosh. She just bit like she swatted a gnat, but backwards, like upwards. She said, whoosh. And he's shielded. He's on the ground all jacked up. That has to be a really sucky feeling because they'd be looking depressed instantly. And he's like, what have you done to me? And then Moiraine walks in. She's like, let him. Her and Lan walk in. They're like, Lan is like, this was not the plan. What are you doing? And then Moraine's like, let him go, Siuan. She's like, no. I was wondering why they showed us that oath rod promise. I was like, but I was too happy to notice anything wrong with it. I was too happy. But anyway, she's like, no, I'm not about to unshield him. Actually put him in prison. That's when Lan figures out later on that Moiraine can still channel. Skipping to later, because this is when it broke my heart. So, Perrin and company work together to trick Liandrin into going to the front lines because Lanfear is causing crazy, hectic rampage in the town. And they're like all trying to protect Mother. And rightfully so, she still is Mother, just a wrong one. And so they're all out there battling and everything. And then Perrin says, hey, very quickly, that's an order, by the way, Liandrin. I need to take over shielding Rand. And you need to go help at the front lines. And she's like, don't let her get close to you. Talking about Moiraine. I'm like, what's your issue, sis? Head out. You know, don't you got your orders, daughter? Head out. You know what I'm saying? The more I talk about it, the more agitated I am. Head out. You got some issues for no reason. And Perrin comes up and she's shielding. And then Moraine's like, you have such a way of words. And then she stops shielding. And she's like, all right, let's go. Let's bounce. And then they sneak him out. And then Alanna tells Moiraine that, like, you're not in this alone anymore, sister. And she's like, I hope you're worth it, Rand. And I'm like, bro, at that point, I was like, me too. Because when Lan goes up there to the top of the tower and she's like, I'm here, Mother. And Siuan's like, why? Why are you here? Who is shielding Rand? And then she's like, oh. And then she's like, she leaves and she's like, guide your sisters. He must not leave the city. I'm like, why? Why are you working against this, dude? Anyway, so she leaves. And you know when she leaves the screen, I'm like, she gonna find them. They find a way gate. And then Moraine's like, okay, Rand, you have to channel. Push your way through if you must. And then Lan's like, no, Moraine's gonna do it. And Moraine's like, bro, enough. Let's not do this right now. This is salt on the wound big time. Like, I'm already betraying my sis, who is not my sis, bro. Didn't sleep yet. I don't know. I'm jacked up and stilled. So she thought. And then he's like, Rand, look, not with your eyes, but with the power. You can see the weaves. And he looks and he's like, I see it. And he's like, what do you see? And then he's like, a knot. And then Moraine's like, no. And he's like, there could still be a way to get it back. And she's like, what, really? And she's finally like, oh, she's finally feeling better. I'm happy, but I'm also not happy because I know that Siuan on the way. In the back of my mind, I'm like, hurry up, just go. Please don't make them fight each other. Please, it's leading up to that. This is the Anakin moment where you're like, no, just last minute, change your mind. Last minute. But no. Okay, moving on. So he reaches with the one power. And I'm like, yes, he's doing dragon things now. We love it. Episode 7, he waited to do dragon things. But here we go. There we go. And then he uses the power and cuts through that knot on Moiraine. And then she's like, and she got it. She could touch the power again. She said, it's like, bro, it's like the first time she's breathed and like took a breath, a real one in a long time. And Lan is like, I'm sorry it took me so long to do my duty. And now,
And my man, thank you to my man. And my man,
what a loyal man. Even with the temptation of Nynaeve at the time going through the gates in the tower or whatever, he was still like, nah. And even then, he was like, I'm sorry it took me so long to do my duty. I said,
thank you to my man.
I understand why everybody likes Lan. It didn't take me to this episode. I grew a fondness for him throughout the season because just how bad she was treating him. I was like, oh man, poor guy. But I really see it now. What a catch. What a dude. Huh? Go get him. Hey. Reunite with Nynaeve. You guys deserve happiness even if my ship has imploded. Anyway, so she gets the power. She opens up the waygate. And I'm like, okay, good. And then I'm also thinking of the other moving parts, but I'm like, okay. And then they're about to walk through, and Siuan shows up. This was episode 6 of season 1 at the end where she banished her, but times 1,000,000. I already knew. In my mind, I was like, oh, it's over with, isn't it? You gonna give us happy at the beginning and break up at the end. It's over with. She shows up and she says, close the waygate, Moiraine. And Moraine's like, no, bro, we're not about to do that. I'm sorry. And she said, don't make me make you. She says, Siuan, I'm about to go through this high thing. And then so Siuan's like, you swore to me on the oath rod that you would obey me. Do not make me make you. And I was like, please don't do this. And she said, Siuan, if you ever love me, don't. And she said, Moiraine Damadred, I command you to close the waygate. And it grips her neck. The one power seeps out of her, grips her neck, grabs her wrists, and then turns her around like one of those Halloween skeletons, all jacked up Bambi-like. And it's like, you could tell it's literally forcing her. And then her hands, it looks like it's not even a part of her body. It definitely looks like she's being controlled. Her hands close and the gate closes and she lets out a breath. And then you pan back to Siuan, who's as angry at her as I was like, ooh, you know when you cross a line, dude, that you could never take back. I don't know. My ship is dead. She crashed the ship. You controlled her with a love oath that she made? You know, maybe she shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Either way, though, she's still the Amyrlin, so even if she swore to the Amyrlin seat, she's still the Amyrlin, so she would have had to do it. But that was so hard to watch, dude. That was so hard to watch because it's like, you forced her. So when she turned back around and looked at her, it was a really split second because Lanfear showed up. Good. For once, I was happy for Lanfear to show up in a really dangerous situation because I was like, it was divorce time. You interrupted it, thank goodness. But Lanfear showed up, and then Moiraine just really quickly, she's like, uh-oh, no, I know what she's about to do. And she was like, Siuan, no, she's too powerful. Like, she's too strong. Siuan didn't listen to that. She gathered some power to make a really big, huge, like, knife circle. Her and the knives, you know, really cool. I really wanted to see her channel and fight and stuff, but not like this. But Lanfear said, "Whoom," just like she did to Rand earlier. She swatted that a little bit more. Siuan went flying, hit her head on something, fell on the floor, and I was like, "But she's not dead though, right? She's not dead though." And then Lanfear walked up to Rand, talking about, "I told you if I saw you and her again together, I would kill her." And Rand's like, "No, you won't." That's when he began. Not even when he gave her back the channeling. But she said, "I trust you," to him. He gave her back the channeling. I was like, good. Finally, he can trust her because he'd been the one with the attitude this whole time. She was devoted. He jumped in front of Lanfear so that she wouldn't kill her. And he's like, "Not if you want my help." She's like, "Oh, you're becoming more and more like Luz this whole time. Luz Theron, the old dragon." I was like, get over it and get out of here. So she goes, she opens the waygate and she walks through. Rand follows her to walk through. They light little torches. Lan stops by Moraine's side for a second, looks back down at Siuan, who's on the ground bleeding, and then looks back at Moiraine, and then he walks through. And because Lan went in, I almost thought for a second Rand going in wouldn't matter that much, but because Lan went in, I was like, oh, no, don't do this to me at the end of the episode. She's going, isn't she? She looks back at Siuan like 400 times. And then even like Siuan at the time, she's like, Moiraine, don't. I'm like, why? He's gone already. Why would she stay? You're just gonna imprison her. Sis is on the ground. Her forehead is bleeding. She's looking like guilt manifested. And she should. Oh, the betrayal in this episode. Why does it have to be on my boat? Why couldn't the betrayal be anything else? I was prepared. I was prepared for Perrin to be a dark friend. I was ready. I wasn't ready for this. But anyway, she looks at her 400 times. On her 399th time, she turns around from the top of the Waygate steps. And then that's when she's like, Moiraine. And I'm like, and then she turns in there. She goes through the Waygate. She turns around again as it closes. Sorry, and Siuan, like, sheds a tear. And it cuts. If you made it to this part of the predictions, then thank you and listen up, cause here we go. Boom. Alright, I just went ahead and kept that because I'm not gonna be able to do too much more work on it. Plus, there's only one more episode, so I'll have to see you guys next season. So that might be in a year and a half. But not yet. This is episode 7. Let's do some predictions. I did watch the next up, and you know what they did to me last time? Last season, they had a great, like, awesome episode. You know what episode I'm talking about, don't ask me. And then they went into the next episode where they, like, dipped, and everybody was separate except for them and the OG squad. So now it's seeming like they're doing the same thing. The OG squad going to be together after breaking my heart. So I'm going to spend most of this prediction time not actually predicting anything. I'm going to be processing. So if you don't want to hear me process about the same thing for the next few minutes, then thank you so much for stopping by. I will link up with you for the next and final reaction of the season next week. And I hope you're surviving, dude. Drop a comment. Tell me how you're feeling. Thank you guys for, like, listening and even dropping your comments. I'll read them all. I like them all. Thank you. Awesome. It's nice to be a part of the community, you know what I mean? So, yeah, thanks for stopping by. If you stuck around because you want to hear me rant, then that's exactly what you're going to get. Dude, I do predict that they're going to free them, perhaps. I know that in the teaser trailer for the whole entire season, we saw something that didn't happen just yet, so we might see that. Maybe Rand's going to do something big and spectacular. It seemed like every group is on their way to Falm. Awesome. This is not the last battle, though, or they wouldn't be shooting to season 3. You know what I mean? This is not it. So this is another battle. This is second battle at this point. And I guess we're going to meet a new baddie, so lucky us. Yeah. So for this episode, what else can I say is a good prediction? I think Egwene will bust out. Maybe we'll finally get a little bit of that friendship y'all are promising with Elayne, Egwene, and Nynaeve. And I guess Lan will reunite with Nynaeve. So happy days for you are here again. There you go. Happy days for you. I don't know what's going on with Moiraine, but she can channel again. Oh, thank goodness. What are they gonna do with Lanfear? Because they're working with her now? This is big time betrayal. I wonder if they're gonna put their name on the iced out Aes Sedai list. Like, they're gonna be public enemy number 1 after this, dude. Next season's gonna be wild and crazy. Because, like, y'all betrayed the Amyrlin in her face. Ooh. And in her own, like, group. Perrin, y'all better get out of there, bro. Alanna, y'all better have a heck of a cover-up for that. But anyway, that's next season's problems. This mid-battle is gonna be wild. And I'm looking forward to it. So that was my due diligence for the final battle and those predictions. Time for my process. They sewed my heart together with the flashback. Just to take out each thread. And make new cut stemming from where the threads were binding. And now. She walked up on her like, you lied to me about being stilled. I was like, no, she didn't. Stop tripping, bro. I was happy to see you again. You gonna do me like this? I was so happy to see you again. Go on back to what you were doing. Never mind. Good to go back. It already happened. I can't say that now. She gonna go back now. She all jacked up anyway. What happened? What did they do to her? They said a broken Amyrlin is more useful to me than a dead one. I was like, good. You know what I'm saying? She could be like, I don't know. She could have gone maybe 10% more, and I would have been a little more upset, like irrevocably upset. But since she didn't go that final 10%, then I still stand. I still stand. Even when they're wrong, I stand. It's just, she gonna have to make it up. I don't know how that's gonna happen. They are enemies now. It's over with. And I still blame that lady with the vision. It wouldn't have been like this if she would have just shut her eyes. I know you're seeing something. Sometimes it's okay to process things internally, and quietly and to yourself. Write them down in a scroll. That's what journaling's for. I always gotta be saying stuff. Yeah, but they're on opposite sides of it. I'm gonna definitely rewatch the episode. This time I'll be prepared for what happens because I know. But I think I'll rewatch it a good 2 times. So I'm gonna watch it again for myself, maybe tomorrow. And dude, I'm scared to go. I'm scared to go online with a bunch of other stans. After this episode, I wonder if they're okay. I mean, it was cool to see her like throw hands at Rand for a second though. Because at the time, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest. I thought Rand was like a really big waste of time this season. Like, it was cool hanging with him and anticipating him to get cool, but he was just not being cool. And he kept asking everybody for help, all the wrong people for help, and running around and not knowing what he was doing. But apparently that's canon. In The Great Hunt, which is what this season was like basically based on or whatever. He denies who he is, and he's fighting who he is the whole time. So it's like, oh, that must have been a drag to read. Sorry to y'all. But, no, I was feeling, like, mid about Rand. Like, I don't dislike him, but I was also like, the dragon, huh? But no, I like him now. He giving back powers. He trusting people. He's headed to go help Egwene. That's what I'm talking about. Egwene's still in the fight, too. Yes, good. This is what I want to see. Hopefully next season we'll get more of that. All of them ready for the cause, fighting, Hopefully on the same side, because here we go with Matt. Matt's like, okay, yes, I want that too, Ishamael. I want to kill the will off so that we don't have to keep waking up to trauma and trying to become better selves, but failing at it. I get it. But at the same time, they call him the father of lies. Homie could have been lying. They are so trusting. I noticed that about Nynaeve too. Like, as soon as she got that sad story from the Aes Sedai lady, she was like, oh, my walls are down. I believe you. Yes, sister, you can trust me. Oh no, don't go back. She said, can you put my ring in the flame? Promise me you will. And she promised. I think she promised. She said, can I trust you? And she said yes. So maybe that's a way out. But yeah, she was. Don't go back to the tower at this point. Don't do it, bro. You guys are public enemy number 1 now. Anybody attached to Moiraine and that whole thing are gonna be on the wanted list, dude. She knows where they're gonna be. So if she does show up in episode 8, Siuan I'm talking about, she shouldn't. Take some time to heal. What does that mean? A broken Amyrlin is better than a dead one. Broken in what way? What did she do? Like, she just pushed a bunch of wind toward her, right? I'll have to look at it again. Oh no. Did they steal her? Did she steal her? Because Lanfear, I don't think, is above it. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, man. This one was like, not even a gut punch, but chest punches. And it was so perfect because my chest was open. I was like, yay. I was scared, but I was also like, it's okay. I'll be taken care of. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, what I tell you, when the episode ended and the credits came up, I was like, I had nothing. As the episode was going, I'm like, I'm not going to have anything to say. But anyway, as always, thank you for tuning in. This concludes my processing. I will continue to process, but off of recording. And I hope we have something nice to hold on to next episode. Hopefully it's the homies all getting together, the dream team, the OGs, two river folks get all back together, do the thing, take down some baddies, stomp the yard. You know what I mean? And I'll just be sad. I'll just be a little sad. But it's okay. I'll see y'all next week. Good lucks for episode 8.